HUTCHING Last updated 1659, September 21, 2017. A Chinese space research program may pave the way for rocket launches like New Zealand's Rocket Lab. The choice of an Ashburton farm for a Chinese space program has been highlighted in a research paper by Anne-Marie Brady, Canterbury University specialist in Chinese affairs. Brady said New Zealand was useful to China's near-space exploration research as it expands its long-range precision missiles, as well as having civilian applications. Chinese company Huankai Science used one of Shanghai Pengxin's farms near Ashburton for the launch of China's first near-space commercial program called Traveler in June 2015. Prime Minister Bill English, answering questions earlier this year about MP Jian Yang's background in the Chinese intelligence services, mentioned in a research paper. The launch of the near-space balloon was described in a Stuff article at the time as a test to deliver broadband. Redmore space balloon for broadband jetpack obtains $10 million to keep aloft. What does Chinese investment mean for New Zealand? It followed the November 2014 signing of a memorandum between Chinese President Xi Jinping, former New Zealand Prime Minister John Key, Huankai Science, and Airways New Zealand. According to Huankai Science's website, the balloon completed commercial testing of an automatic identification system, space exploration, and space-to-Earth high-speed communications. This successful test marked China's near-space exploration technology as among the highest in the world, Huankai said. Maria Paza, a space law solicitor at Lane Neve, said new legislation meant that all high-altitude launches had to be certified by the New Zealand Space Agency at the Ministry of Business, Innovation, and Employment. Meanwhile, Brady's research paper outlined China's policy of soft influence in political and business relationships, including former Prime Minister John Key's Parnell House sale in September to a Chinese buyer. The property was sold for $20 million, well above market rates for the area, to an undisclosed Chinese buyer, Brady said. Chinese investors linked to political and criminal interests may conceal their foreign identity by purchasing a foreign company in order to buy a local identity, and then using it to invest in other companies as a local, rather than a foreign investor. Brady said Huankai Science's interests included its shareholding in New Zealand near-space company Martin Jetpack. However, Jetpack faces years more research to develop a commercial engine. Huankai has become Jetpack's funder of last resort and will end up with a larger stake if a new loan is converted to equity in a year or so. The chief executive of Huankai Science was quoted in a China daily newspaper report last year saying Jetpack production would move to China. Brady traced the partnership between Huawei Technologies, Victoria University, and Lincoln University to build a $440 million cloud data center, building data capacity well in excess of their needs for the project. She described business, cultural and personal relationships between China and high-profile New Zealanders. Chinese language media in New Zealand had become increasingly Chinese data-controlled, Brady said, and raised suspicions about journalist scholarships and visits to China. New Zealand was of interest to China because of its relationships with Cook Islands, Niue, and Takilao, its interest in Antarctica, minerals, and dairy investments, given New Zealand supplied 24% of China's milk, Brady said. The classic approach was to appoint foreigners with access to political power to high-profile roles in Chinese companies in the host country, use sister city relations and partnerships with universities and research centers to access military technology and commercial secrets, Brady said. New Zealand needs to face up to some of the political differences and challenges in the New Zealand-China relationship, and to investigate the extent and impact of Chinese political influence activities on our democracy. New Zealand would be wise to follow Australia's example and take seriously the issue of China's big push to increase its political influence activities, whether it be through a special commission or a closed-door investigation, Brady concluded. Stuff.